god, I wish you were recording. That was awesome.
Oh man, but yeah. So, how's your week been, man?
It's been pretty. What was last week? Okay, so my Monday was pretty chill. I think I was just hanging out with my girl, and then Tuesday, Tuesday we were having dinner at her place, and then Wednesday was Vinyl Life. Wednesday was cool because so Wednesday was like my friend Revel's birthday, right? So like
Oh hell
we
yeah!
well no Thursday was, but Kate and I were like leaving Thursday to come see you guys, and oh shit, we're recording, right?
Yeah, we're recording. Yeah.
Oh hey everybody, welcome to the pod. Eric's got a very new haircut.
Yeah, and I'm so mad I didn't get that reaction on camera. That was a great reaction, but yeah.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I did not expect that because I just literally saw you this last weekend. But so back to the week. So
Yeah.
like I was
Celebrating Rebel's birthday.
So Wednesday we were celebrating, and so we went to S27, had some beers there, spun some records, and then we were journeying downtown San Jose. We're trying to figure out the next spot because we didn't, and the band came out too for like the first time in a long time. Minus Fabian. What are you drinking tonight, good sir?
Sour Stripes flavored Ghost.
Oh my god, you're having an energy drink this late in the day. I want to give the viewers a perspective. It's 7:30 in the evening as we record this, but you know what? Kudos to you. I am having a White Russian.
Kudos to you, good sir.
Yeah. So we decided to go to this pub / restaurant called The Brit in downtown San Jose, which is like this cool little British themed pub
with the band and Revel.
With the band of Revel, and then after that we journeyed to this place. Oh, that Revel had actually discovered called Cash Only, which was cash only, and but it was a nice little bar, little interior.
I'd be kind of disappointed if it wasn't cash only. I mean,
well, you know, I figured it could have been the opposite. It was card only. I figured out that places do card only to avoid homeless people spending money in their establishment. Which is fine. So viewers, that is. If you're anti-bourgeoisie, fucking don't go to places that are card only. Fuck those hoes.
Or if anything, give a homeless man like a credit card. You know.
Yeah, give a homeless man a credit card and be like, "Here's the spending limit. You gotta pay it off eventually." No, don't give him that responsibility.
Hey, no, I mean, no. Here's what you do. You give them a credit card, all right. You teach them how to set up a credit card and whatnot, and then you just give them the card, and then they just spend money like crazy, and then you know what you do? You start another credit card. And then you use the credit card to pay off that credit card, and you just keep going.
You just keep building up credit.
Exactly.
Oh shit, this sounds my shit. Sorry.
Yeah, and how the fuck are the credit card companies gonna like sue a homeless man? Like he has nothing, literally nothing. Like
yeah, he just spent all the credit.
Yeah.
Bro. Like give him a break. Anyway, so
unless you're gonna rip him apart and sell his fucking organs, then that would really say the quiet part out loud. So.
Yeah. No. Seriously. So. We were at this place called Cash Only, which had a nice interior. It was cool. I think I had a PBR there because I was just drinking beer that evening. I wasn't driving, so like Kate drove. And then Thursday, like I had a day at work, and like then I left. Then afterwards, we left to go down south and drive down to you guys, and we all went to the Kev Mo show.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Kev Mo was sick. That was like a really cool. The crowd was just all older people, which is like that's cool, right? Like I love older people. I work with them for a living. Like that's my main population. They're really chill. They're really sweet. And like I was talking to the lady started talking to me sitting next to me, and I'm not used to that small town shit. Like up in the Bay here, I was talking with Jackson about it. Like just last night is like nobody's happy up here. Everyone's like stressed out, and no one talks to anybody else. And it's like. You know, people just don't walk up to you at random and say hello and start a conversation with you. So it was nice to have that vibe. So the show was cool, and actually the opener was sick. So it's this guy, Scott Mulvihill, who he plays standing bass, and that was really impressive. He was getting groovy with it. He had this cute little quirky stage presence to him. He was very, like... timid, I would say. Not timid, maybe, but like just
quirked up white boy goated with the sauce.
He was a quirked up white boy with a little bit of swagger, busting down sexual style, but not necessarily goated with the sauce. I actually would say, yeah, he was definitely it. And so
that's a more accurate description, yeah.
So that was a fun show. So we did that, and then we came back to the house, had some more drink, and then Friday was like busy. So, yeah, it's just been like a busy few days for me. So like Friday was busy, so like we went to go get brunch, and then we went to go shop. Like I picked out a suit,
Yeah.
and I got that all tailored and stuff. Or it's getting tailored right now, so it can like better fit me, and I could wear that in November. And then
You forgot your glasses, so you stopped by my work.
yeah, so I was on the drive up, and I forgot my water bottle first off, so I was like rushed into the house with my glasses in hand in the case in the house, and I left them right next to the fridge, I think, and then I ran back out with the water, but forgot the glasses, and they realized half an hour, about 20 minutes in, so they met me up there, and I got to meet your boss, which was cool. She was very nice.
Yeah.
Nice lady.
Yeah. And then we hooked you up, so that was awesome.
Crowley was sick. Thank you for the free Crowley. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah, of course.
We appreciate that. And then driving back up. So the drive was fine. It was just like it always when it's like dead on the road and there's like fucking miles of nothing. It's like really just boring. It's kind of the drive to Slow is a boring drive. Like I think just driving through that part of California is a really boring drive. Like I've driven up the opposite direction towards like Oregon and shit, and like that's a really pretty drive because you see like, a bunch of trees. The drive through the Central Valley is like not. I don't know. It's not particularly interesting. And even like the drive down to Anaheim a few weeks ago was like it was fun because I liked the crowd of people we were with. Like it was my girlfriend and like her brother and his brother's girlfriend. And they were fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
The drive itself is just fucking boring. It's much easier with a co-pilot though. Like me and Kate were like chilling. We were driving up. I listened to a very long Jerry Lee Lewis record, but it was very well. As a record as a whole, it's not particularly great. A lot of the individual songs are awesome, but it's just too. It's like it's almost 2 hours long of a record, and it's like a greatest hits compilation kind of thing. So like that's not albums like that. They are the greatest hits. Like it's like they're fun, but I really like I listen to like the Bee Gees' greatest hits, and like of course they're all fantastic. But it's boring after a while. It's just and you really miss a lot of the context with like. I think like songs exist in a record because they're planned that way, or they should be at least. And like existing in that context alone, not in like a greatest hits record, is like its best format, right?
Yeah.
If it's a greatest hits record, just make it less than like, an hour. Make it like an hour or less. It's like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so we drove back up, and we were like pretty dead tired that night. But then Saturday was like really busy. So I got back here. Because my girl had to work early in the morning, so I left there like around 8, after 8ish, I think. Came back here, got ready for D&D. D&D was cool. We did that for a few hours, and then we went out for dinner. And then like my night was like really eventful. So like my friend Jackson, in usual Jackson fashion, like I text him in the morning at like probably like 9:30 or so. I'm like, hey, like I probably should be free around 8 tonight. Let me know what you're doing. We should do something.
Yeah.
I said I can't really say if I'm gonna get out at 8 because I can't give a time frame. D&D usually, and especially because we had dinner plans, it gets held up a bit, so it's hard to say. But you can guesstimate. And so Jack Ashton, no text throughout the day, and then finally at 8 p.m. he's like, could I convince you to drive up to San Francisco? And this is gonna be my last time driving up. Taking my car up to the city. The city's really gone to shit. It's like there's just rampant crime, rampant break-ins, and for example, so I drove all the way up. The second I got there, I was like, so Jack was like, oh, we're gonna get this one bar, but I don't know if we're gonna be there by the time you get up, so just use my location. I was like, okay, fine. And so I was using that, and Maps sent me on a whirlwind of like trying to find these guys, and so I found them. And they were standing by Jack's car. Jack's car had gotten broken into. The back windshield got busted up.
Is that what he messaged online where like a purple guitar went missing?
Yeah, they stole that out of the back of the truck. It was a guitar that he had bought, not for too costly, but the sentimental value is there. It's like it had like signatures from one of their big shows, like I think from like the Whiskey A Go Go or something.
Goddamn cocksuckers! Fucking hell.
Yeah. It was a nice guitar too, man. It sounded nice. It looked nice. which I commend him. He didn't really let that dampen the night too much. He was like upset about it, obviously. And I mean, shit, I would be too. Like, I'd be fucking pissed if someone broke into my car.
Yeah.
It's a very violating experience.
Yeah.
And it happens in the city, but it's like it also happens if you got valuable shit in your car. So there was increased risk. But anyway, so you know, we were at this bar, and I figured out quickly it was a gay bar because there were two telltale signs. There was rainbows everywhere, and on all the TV screens there was just hard dick.
Oh, okay, cool.
There was just men with hard, big old cocks, sometimes using them on other men. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, I think this place is a gay bar. I turned to Jack. I'm like, is this a gay bar? Like, and nothing wrong with that. There was.
I mean, there's
I was
plenty of
just
porn I've
amazed
seen where I'm
with-
just like looking at the man's dick and I'm thinking that's a beautiful looking dick. God damn.
Also, just
Fuck.
dicks. So
Yeah.
I didn't mind seeing it on the screen. A lot of those men were hot. I was like, wow.
Damn.
I was, yeah, just damn. But it was fun because there was a piano there. So first, like Haley's boyfriend Alex started playing it and did a couple songs, and then Nate jumped on it, dude, and like played Drops of Jupiter, and so we got the whole crowd singing. Like,
Oh my god,
Nice.
yes.
that's one of the peaks of the night. And then
Yeah.
all trying to figure out like what bar we're going to next. Apparently, we had to all Uber from it, and so when I got
Yeah.
into the city, I parked in a relatively safe place. It was a valet parking place, but then it's a valet place that's only open till like 11:45. So I'm like, and I got up to the city around like 9, or I parked around 9:15. So it's like I'm only going to use this for like 2.5 hours at most. Like I need to so that we were all they were all hopping in Ubers, and I only had one drink. I actually at the gay bar they ordered us blowjob shots. The whipped cream, the Kahlua, the Irish cream.
Did you wrap your lips around the glass and actually take it without using your hands? That's what you're supposed to do, apparently.
No, I didn't. I just shot it straight.
That's why they call it the blowjob, because when you do that and you take the shot and you take the glass out of your mouth, it looks like you have cream around your mouth from a
Yeah.
blowjob.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's why it comes in a shot form.
The whipped cream is like really nice, and so it's a money shot, and so
Especially in your big bushy beard, Jesus Christ.
oh yeah, just imagine the cum stains I'd get in this beard.
Oh god, it's
So-
like eating Hawaiian pancakes, like fucking hell.
Oh, well, I've never seen a Hawaiian pancake. I'm gonna Google that later.
Well, I was gonna say because coconut syrup looks like cum, so that's why.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Actually, coconut syrup on pancakes would be gas. Anyway, so
A little slice of pineapple and a little bit of ham too.
maybe the pineapple, not so much the. Yeah, the pineapple would go really well probably with that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. Pineapple's like my favorite fruit, and it sucks because my girlfriend's allergic, so I can't fucking
Yeah.
went to. So they were all getting into Ubers for the cars. So like I was like, oh, let me just go pick up my car from the garage, so I don't have to worry about it moving it later. Like getting back there and having to grab it. And we found new parking, and like
Nice.
we went over to the bar, and the bar was cool. So it's this place called Westwood, up in the city, and it was like the top floor is kind of like all country sort of shit. And it's cool. And then you go like downstairs to like it's like a club downstairs, and there's like an extra bar down there, and like all the bartenders and the waitresses, I guess you'd call it, is like they're all dressed in like fucking lingerie, dude. And I was like, whoa, or like
Damn.
bikinis or some shit. And I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. I think it's just full on lingerie. Oh my god, that was intense, and it was awesome. And then they had like a dance floor open, so like we got like a couple drinks, the guys and I, and then we like hopped on the dance floor and like danced for like half an hour, and then it got fucking packed, and I was like, I need some air. And then so like we got out at midnight,
Yeah.
and the two Jack and Nate were hungry, so we went over to this we were looking for a place to eat. And so first I found this place called Mel's, but then on our way to Mel's we found this other place, and I don't even remember the name of it, and I don't really care to remember the name of it because that place sucked ass.
Yeah, so fuck that place.
Yeah, so it's like they had this taco plate, and like the menu made it look pretty bust, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be sweet. I can't wait to eat these. And I ate the first one, and I was like, that wasn't really good. And then I ate the second one, and I'm like, it's not getting better. So I skipped the third one, and my friends had gotten burritos, and like I had a bite of one of their burritos, and it like that was passable. The bite I had, at least, I don't know about the whole thing, but the bite I had was like passable. But the burritos were also like $15, so I was like, I'm not paying $15 for a shitty ass burrito.
How much did you pay for
So
the taco plate?
taco plate was like $9 plus tip was like turned it up to took it up to 11. So I'd say it's about like $4 a taco, which is not worth it.
I mean, okay, like $9 taco plate. I mean, I don't
Like
know
three
what
dollars.
I don't know what the going rate is for a taco plate, but like I don't know, $9 for a taco plate. It should get you at least decent tacos. Like,
Well,
you
yeah.
know.
Here's the thing: is like taco plates can usually be pretty much within that range, right?
Yeah,
Probably usually about $8 to $10, and you get like two or three tacos, and like if it's two tacos, you get like rice and beans. Usually, it can
yeah,
depend.
yeah.
But those are gas, right? But this place was not gas. It sucked. This place was just
That's
bad,
bullshit.
which sucked. And so then,
Fucking Taco Rocco. I love going to Taco Rocco because I get their like three crispy tacos for like $10.75, and they are fat fucking tacos loaded to the brim with meat and like vegetables and tomatoes. It is fucking gas, bro.
that's what you need out of a taco. But
Yeah,
so,
if you want to bulk up on protein, get the fucking three crispy tacos, chicken as the meat. Trust me, you will get those grams of protein.
no, bet.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just not. It sucked, and it that kind of sucked. But anyway, so like, so then it was after that we like decided to part ways. I think I drove them back to their car, and I left the city at like 1 in the morning and got home at like 2. So my Saturday night was pretty cool. It was eventful.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Sunday, dude, I didn't do anything yesterday. I got up kind of late-ish. I got like, well, not late-ish for me. I got like up at 9, maybe like 9:15. I made myself a breakfast burrito because I have like stuff in the fridge for that. I called our parents, and then I spent the rest of the day like playing guitar, watching a bit of TV,
Nice.
drinking. I drank like I had a few drinks yesterday. Um,
You already finished all the beer that I got you, or no?
no, I was going through my Miller, so like don't worry about it. I wasn't touching the beer you got me. I
Hold up,
still
did
have
Kate's
like
parents get the beer that I made specifically for them?
they did get that, and they appreciated it. Her dad was like, "Whoa, these are big," and I'm sure they
Yeah.
appreciated it. I haven't seen them since before we left. No, since when we got back on Friday.
Well, now I'm curious about his
Because
reaction to the shirt. So,
oh yeah, he was also happy with that too. The
yeah.
Oktoberfest shirt.
Hell yeah.
That was very nice of her. And then
Gotta represent.
no, absolutely, dude. And then I spent all day doing nothing. I had my buddy over for a little bit. We just hung out, chatted about life and stuff recently. Um, that's how the week has been for me. It's been pretty calm. Um, how's your week, man?
That's been good. Honestly, it feels like a bit of a blur. It's just, again, like work, home, work, home. I did start playing video games again today. Me and Edwin, our boy Edwin, we played Apex Legends and we almost got a win just before I hopped on here. So, yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
appreciate.
He was a
Respect.
fucking beast, though. Like, the dude, he was doing so well in that game. I was doing ass. And, like,
Well, yeah, it's like you probably don't get like a lot of opportunity to play these days. Like that's the thing is like I don't play very many video games anymore, and like so I don't use my Xbox like at all, which is kind of whack because I
yeah,
really
I
like
know.
that thing. But just timing and stuff, and like I lead a busy lifestyle, and like I'm always out doing other things, and like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like crazy. But anyway, so
Yeah.
that's good and it's nice. It's
Yeah.
I haven't talked directly to that guy for a while. Life's
Yeah.
just been like getting in the way, man.
Yeah, no, so far I've learned more about him and what's going on in his life than, like, literally since last time we actually hung out together properly in person. That was a D&D session, God knows how long ago.
Yeah, time
Yeah.
flies, and especially with the pandemic, it's been confusing.
Yeah.
I forget a lot of the stuff that happened, like at the beginning of the pandemic. I'm like, I forget just how. I think a lot of people have forgotten about that, like how crazy things were at the beginning, and like
Yeah.
just kind of now we're getting back into some normalcy. But now COVID's on the rise again. Like that was wild.
Yeah, our parents just got actually their recent shots for COVID-19 as well as the flu shot, so yeah.
Yeah, when I get my new health insurance, I'm gonna go get a flu shot next month.
Yeah.
Because gotta just get that shit out the way. And I especially need it because I need it for my job by like the 10th of November. So
Yeah, that might be good for me on like I'll see if I can set it up tomorrow and hopefully get it on Wednesday before I go work next. Or maybe tomorrow, so that way I can just take that Wednesday and just rest completely in case if like something weird happens from the shot.
are you talking about your COVID booster?
Yeah, exactly.
I should. Here's the thing: is like, should I get one? I don't know if I like. I had the 4 already. Do we really need a 5th?
I mean, I might as well take it. Hopefully, it'll turn me into Captain America. You know.
Maybe, yeah. I think it would be good. You know, because I think the first few were effective. Like I've had COVID twice. I mean, God forbid, the first round was ass. That began awful and ended awful, and having to be isolated in my I was living with like 2 other schmucks at that point, and I had to confine myself to my room, which was much smaller than this apartment.
Oh god.
The second round I had COVID, I was able to just spend it in this apartment, which was like, oh shit, this is nice. Yeah, it was like, it was good. But yeah, I think the COVID shots really helped out a lot.
Yeah, so far I have not gotten COVID yet, and I don't plan to anytime soon, regardless of how well I'm gonna handle it. Fuck getting COVID. I'm not gonna do that shit.
No, totally. COVID, get out of here, bro. We don't want you here, dog.
But I will get that shot because I believe in vaccines, unlike certain people.
Yeah, I wonder, like, what makes it. Well, I don't wonder. I know, like, the misinformation that can spread and the assumptions that can be, the conclusions that can be jumped to about, you know, certain things.
Yeah.
But I can't believe we've gotten to this point where it's like, just scientific fact is like questioned, and like it's just it's wild, and like it's just I think there's a major mental health crisis going on across America. Like there's a lot of delusional thinking.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I think it's just like the lack of like thinking forward. Like, granted, I suffer from that sometimes. I sometimes act before I think it through, and then sometimes it hurts me. But very, very little, low on the scale. It's not like I destroy relationships with people because I believe in some like QAnon conspiracy or some bullshit like that or something.
Yeah, falling that off the deep end. I mean, like,
like it's okay to indulge in the occasional conspiracy theory, like the Las Vegas shooter. None of that shit adds up. Okay, chemtrails is not a thing, but the fact that MK Ultra definitely exists and has happened, I'm surprised not more people are paying close attention to who might slip you something into your drink, because that's a thing.
Yeah, no, totally. It's
whether it's roofies or acid, it's one of those two, and that's a real shit, and no one's really focusing on that.
Yeah, it's the world's just a weird, messed up place, and like there's a believability, like you said, to conspiracy theories. Like there's a mistrust going on in like media and in the status quo.
Yeah,
and I don't really know if we can get back from it, It's
okay to distrust things, because that's the idea to like critical thinking. Don't believe and hear everything you see or what other people say. Just follow the facts. Follow what actually lines the fuck up. And if something doesn't actually line the fuck up, question it. If it genuinely unnerves you and the data doesn't line up, then yeah, it makes sense to question it. But if the general consensus is that vaccines fucking work, even a milkmaid from like 1340 realizes, oh, if I expose myself a little bit to like this virus, I won't get nearly as sick if I just catch it randomly. Like,
yeah, humans are.
Yeah,
and
they can't even fucking read, and they know that. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is like I think a big problem of it is like the internet has created a greater opportunity for people to connect, and people to connect over like anything. It's a great information and misinformation tool, right? Because like you can have all access of human knowledge at your fingertips, or you can have some fucking opinionated guy throwing some BS, and like I don't know, it's I don't really think there's any going back from it. I don't really know how we move forward from it either. I think like
I think we try to save the ones that we can. Florida, we give up on that. We let Florida drown. Okay, give it like 5 years, they'll be all underwater.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
Florida, well, yeah, with Florida producers, I mean, Ron DeFucking is like, just nothing about him I've seen is like good.
yeah.
He makes all these awful decisions. Um, he's like, he's an inhuman fucking robot thing. I don't know, just like, he looks like he's malfunctioning every time he's in some fucking like talk or whatever. I don't know. It's
No,
like,
it took so many people online to figure this out, and it took me especially. I thought I would be the first one to figure this out, but he is exactly like Homelander from The Boys. Like the mannerisms of just like, just ready to pop up and just wanting to just do violent things to people just out of nowhere.
there's a lot behind him. He's doing a lot of awful shit, and I believe that he wants to do a lot more awful shit.
Yeah.
He's a bad human being, so fuck him.
Yeah, I want him to fail the presidential run because that would just be fucking hilarious, and it's obviously
Hmm.
going to happen. However, the chances of him getting reelection in Florida pretty fucking high, and I want that to happen just so like Florida falls the fuck apart because while he's still in charge, their infrastructure is just going to get worse. Everything is just going to get worse for them, and they're just going to end up underwater faster than before.
Yeah, no, totally. It's
Yeah. Or hit by another hurricane and just completely decimated this time around, like the Hawaii fires, but like 10 times worse.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, this it feels like every presidential election is getting crazier and crazier, and like this one is just like both of them are selling merch about memes of themselves. So like Trump is selling merch about like his fucking mugshot, and then
Yeah,
like Biden's selling the Dark Brandon fucking merch. I'm like, what the fuck? And also, why is the White House selling merch? You're like the leader of the free world, man. Like you should have all the tax money.
I
You
mean
know,
we're
like
still in debt. We're still in debt to China and like who knows else. We need that money every bit we can. Okay, if you buy the presidential election merch, we might just get out of the debt.
maybe stop overspending on our military. Ooh, did I say that?
Yeah, or just stop outsourcing to other countries and actually like build better, jobs here in America. If you care so
Yeah.
much about the people, maybe give them equal opportunities, like you pride this country to be.
And it's like invest in people. Like if you put
Yeah,
resources into like the poor and help them build themselves up, they'll be able to give back more to the economy. It's like it's going to be more profitable in the long run. Like what
I
the fuck?
swear to God, if you gave more tech jobs to like Iowa, Ohio, Wyoming, if you gave them more abilities to like build like fucking microchips and processors and shit, not only is it a good skill for them to learn that, but we don't have to depend on fucking China for all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's beyond me. Oh, it's cheaper to outsource to China. Well, fuck you. Like, pay the little extra money just so we can actually dominate the market, so they don't have to.
Yeah, totally. It's
Yeah,
shit's wild, man. It's
yeah. Because we have restrictions to some degree on like how far you can go on breaking human rights. China, they don't give a fuck, man. Like they will go hard if it'll make them serious money.
no, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cheap labor. Cheap. Well, so here's the thing: is like with humanity is like there's a lot of profit to be made off the suffering of others, and that's kind of the symptom of money. Is like that's it's just the root. I really think it's the root of all evil, and I feel like I say this a lot of the episodes, but like I'm very much just you know we monetize when you monetize natural resources like water and food and shelter and stuff. You
Yeah.
really create a system where a lot of people can lack that and can lack proper well-being, and like that's just not okay.
Yeah.
Like today we were talking like in the union about like, oh, we got wage reopeners right now and we need to be paid more and stuff, and like I agree we do need to be paid more, but we also shouldn't be having to be in a system where we have to worry about that constantly. And it's just like it's bound, it's a bubble. Capitalism is a bubble bound to burst, and it's it's reaching some points recently. Like auto workers are on strike right now.
Oh, that's fun.
That's kind of crazy. The WGA is like about to end that strike. 146. Here's the 146 days they've been on strike, and like it just baffles me that like the studios weren't just like, oh, let's just pay them more money. Like it's like you don't have to worry about making all these I'm not a business guy, right? But like, you don't have to like, even if your company is making like 40% profit, you're still making fucking profit. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
should be, you're fine. I don't know. It's like,
I do appreciate the memes coming out of like the people that are like crossing the picket line, the fucking scabs, like Bill Maher, Stephen Amell, Drew Barrymore. The fucking memes are great.
yeah, all Drew had to do was hold out one more week. And she couldn't fucking do it. And
Yeah, she like
she went back and forth on that shit too.
Yeah, she fucking spent years building up like, a brand name for herself, and she took, that and threw it in the trash in less than a week. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's like she opens up her show. She has security confiscate property that has like WGA buttons and pins and shit, and then she like after the bullying, she decides to cancel the show. And she like brings it back, and she's like, "Oh, one more try," and then she just eventually decides not to have it back as she realizes that again she's in the fucking wrong here. And it's bullshit. She built this brand of being this kind, understanding person, and then you're like, "Oh, I have to make my show while people are struggling to eat." Like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. You're a fucking scab to the core.
If you want to go out there and be a fucking creator and get that bag, like. Maybe don't do anything in like television production, movie, nothing like that. Maybe I don't know.
One of the biggest strikes in history. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, put out maybe like a music album or something completely unrelated. And even if it's dog shit, like people will still buy it to some degree. You'll make some money off of it,
Bro, I just realized that strike went on for nearly 5 months.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Yeah.
It took them 5 months to, like, I would have imagined, like, I thought after month 1, I was like, this is going to be over soon. The studios are dumb. They're going to realize their mistake. And it just kept going. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. It's fuck you, Bob Iger, you fucking cunt. Oh, I can't afford my yacht if I have to pay my workers more. Fuck you don't need a fucking yacht, you stupid fuck.
I'll tell you what, though. It has been showing, like, who's consistently good people in Hollywood. And so far... Stephen Colbert, fucking king. I fucking knew it. Jack Quaid from The Boys. Fucking love the guy. His cast members and whatnot. So fucking cool. And Bob Odenkirk. Better Call Saul himself. A fucking king, like always.
Absolutely. Bryan Cranston.
Oh, yes.
Aaron Paul.
Yes. Oh, absolute kings, the three of them.
Powerful men, dude. They're just like, they're absolute chads, and we appreciate them.
Yeah.
We respect everybody, all the writers and actors who participated in that strike.
Yeah.
Who stood picketing. Good shit, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just so ridiculous to me to like think that like a lot of these fucking CEO types don't understand the value of their employees. Like, if you don't have your employees, you don't have a company, dude. Like, it's like, if you don't have people willing to work for you, you don't have anything to produce, because you're not producing anything yourself. These CEOs are like the most expensive employee of the company, and they don't do shit.
Yeah, it's because they're getting paid big bucks just to help like get this product out there that they don't know what it's like to be creative. They lack that idea of knowing that, hey, if you don't actually have creativity to bring this shit to life, it's not gonna like just spontaneously show up out of nowhere.
Writers and actors are the content creators, man. Like, they're the ones who curate the content that you fucking sell fill your pockets. And it's like,
it's literally the same bullshit with All Gas No Breaks. Like, those guys, apparently they did their channel because a production company hired them to make like content for them, and it just grew very successful. So they thought, oh, these three guys who are just friends like drive around the States in like an RV with a camera and actually built this up themselves. That's pretty awesome. No, it was literally all funded by a production company, and when they wanted more pay, the production company dropped them and literally kept the rights to the name of the channel and the content.
Mm-hmm.
Not thinking for a moment that maybe the content that these guys have built up for them would actually be continually watched if you had the original guys, if you actually had what feels like the same content they came to love and supported. Mm-hmm. They think, oh, if we have the name brand, that's all people care about, really, right? No, no, no.
Yeah, it's like it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's
That's why they were able to have that soft revival with all their fan base, at least until the lead guy apparently got accused of, sexual assault and I think battery as well. So yeah,
glad you brought that up. I was going
yeah,
to mention one of those guys is not such a good boy, but it's a good example.
yeah. It's a great example up until that point, but point still stands.
Yeah, it's like you're missing. It's like this miss. I saw this like viral video of this clip of the CEO being like, there needs to be like, an economic like suffering so that people know how valuable it is to have a job. It's like you need to not. You're literally not hiding at this point. You're just evil and like you don't care about your employees and like
Yeah,
you just need to. If you treat people with respect and dignity and pay them what they're fucking worth and like just it's not. It's really not that hard to do. It's like, and it's this misguided idea that like you're somehow doing them a favor, and no,
yeah.
them being employed to you is them doing you a favor, dog. Um,
Yeah, no, I think they heard the term bullying works and thought, oh, it works. I'm like, no, no, it doesn't work like that. It works like when the average folk come to realize you're an evil twat, so we're going to bully the shit out of you, and it's definitely
mhm.
going to hurt you financially.
Yeah, I love to see
Yeah.
that Drew got bullied into doing two different apologies.
I know, bullying fucking works, but only for the 99%. It never works for the 1%.
Only for the Vox Populi.
Yeah, that is why a large majority of these, cocksuckers stay quiet, and the real dumb ones, like this Tim, whatever the fuck this guy's name is, who said that shit. Oh, there needs to be an economic collapse and shit. He's getting fucking bullied the shit out of it. I fucking love it. I love it when
No,
they actually just
absolutely.
say the evil part out loud and they get fucking rightfully bullied for it.
Yep, rightfully owned, dude. That's
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I don't know. Yeah, fuck CEOs, eat the rich.
Hmm.
Glad that workers are being treated fairly now, or at least
Yeah.
they are. Wasn't there like a surge of truck drivers also going on strike or something recently?
I think there was. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's striking. I
Yeah.
like this chapter of the post COVID world. I think that's one thing I will take away. I think that's one thing that COVID really did teach us is like the value of the worker. And like the workers are starting to realize that and starting to gain that power back, and like that's really valuable. Like I
Yeah.
love to see it. Love to see it sticking to the man
Yeah.
because the man is evil and awful, and they can go fucking they can fuck off.
You know what's actually funny is I saw A Bug's Life. This was a little while back, but it's still pretty recent. So the whole plot of the movie is that like these grasshoppers are pressing the ants by saying, "Hey, you're gonna harvest food for us. We don't have to do anything because we're intimidating. We're gonna, threaten you with violence if you don't get us our food every year." And they're like, "Oh, okay, okay." And then the whole power structure relies on the ants not realizing that the ants outnumber the grasshoppers like 100 to 1
hmm
until they realize that, and then literally the tables shift like immediately, and I'm just like, that's literally the same with us. Like there's a reason why it's called the 1% versus the 99%. Like they don't even think for a second that pushed to the point of desperation, things can turn out ugly real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I always point to I think a lot of the issues of the world right now. I think there's two issues. Is you can point to rich people and racism. Are
Good
the
point.
rich and racism two R's that are the biggest problem of the world?
Yeah.
Is the elite and racism, and it's like I thought about the racist part because I was like I was watching this thing on Good Morning America. Yeah, that's what it was. I just flipped on the channel. I was watching this thing on Good Morning America about like black people not being able to swim, and it's because of like the long standing stereotype of like that they can't swim. And I found out also that like that's based within slavery, that myth, because like they used to throw slaves off the ship and they couldn't swim.
Mm.
Um,
Wow.
and so like, apparently like a lot of young black kids like just don't learn to like swim, dude, and like it's it's crazy to think about. It's like
So fucked up. That is wow. Jesus
It's horrible.
Christ.
It's definitely a really bad reason, brother.
Terrible reason. God damn.
Awful reason. That was crazy when I heard that shit. I was like, whoa.
It's like that term for I'm not gonna say the term because we're gonna get demonetized immediately if I say it, but it's the word for homosexuals. That's also the same word for a cigarette if you bum one in England.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why is because they would literally roll homosexuals up in like a rug or a piece of cloth like that and then light them on fire. That's why it has dual meaning, apparently.
Humans are really good about being shitty to each other. They're really good about that.
Yeah, although I think they kind of perfected it in the Middle Ages, because when you really look at like the torture devices they came up with, it's like, fuck me, they were
some
really
of that shit was
good.
messed up.
The fucking pear, that always kills me every time. Jesus.
It's a pear, man.
A pear is basically like, it looks like a butt plug at first, and you're like, oh, okay, that shouldn't be too bad, because, you know, people nowadays like that shit. No, it's a butt plug that just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding.
And you shove that up somebody's ass?
Yeah, and then you just keep going. You don't even stop, you just keep going until it's like all the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. That's horrible.
I know, it's fucking bad.
That hurts, dude.
Yeah.
That must fucking hurt.
Oh, and then there's the fucking donkey. That one's like just as brutal.
That's the fucking donkey, man.
Okay, the donkey's like a wedged piece of wood. It's like a mostly block, and then like it's like a triangle shape at the top. And you have your torturee sitting on the top, and then you add weights to their ankles, so that way the gravity of the weights basically pulls them down. And because the wedge is pretty sharp, it's sharp enough to slowly get the job done, but not nearly as fast as you want it to, as it's slowly splitting you in half, genitals up.
Oh my god, that's that's awful. That's like a fucking butter knife, man.
Yeah, which hurts way worse.
Yeah, because
it's dull.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's just sharp enough to like start getting the job done, but it's gonna take forever. So
humans do some messed up shit to each other, man.
Yeah,
Tell you what,
they really do. Yeah.
Yeah, they do some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But wow.
On that side note, I watched an old film with our father called 100 Rifles, and it was quite good.
100 Rifles?
It's a Western starring Burt Reynolds, Raquel Welch, and Jim Brown. I feel like I've seen Jim Brown in other movies, but I can't name which ones, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But basically the premise of the movie is that Jim Brown plays like a lawman who's after Burt Reynolds' character, Navajo Joe, I think that's what they call him.
Navajo Joe.
Yeah.
That's a good-ass name for a character. What the hell?
Yeah, because he's half white, half Indian, so...
That's fucking hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so he stole $6,000 from a bank and spent all the money in like a month on 100 rifles to arm the local natives with the means to overthrow the powers that oppress them, which is apparently the Mexican government. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Raquel Welch is also involved because her character's father is like hung by these guys, so she's like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm taking up arms too." So
nice.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I thought you were going to say hung like a horse. I was like, what does that have to do with anything?
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I don't know why my brain jumped to that.
She's a small woman. She will get split in fucking half, man.
Yeah, like the donkey, bro.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Call my dick the donkey because I split a bitch in half.
Bro. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, 100 Rifles is a great film. It's definitely right in the pocket, too. It's like, I think, like an hour and 49 minutes, and it doesn't... I mean, granted, it could have been because I was working hard that day, so I started to fall asleep right near the end, but it was a really good film. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have not watched any movies. I caught up with Ahsoka now, finally, so I'm ready for, like, tomorrow night, when the episode drops. And then... Oh, I watched Aristocats last night after my friend left. I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, I know vaguely of the premise.
Well, it's just cute. It's like it follows for the most part, these cats. Like the humans are involved, and like the human characters are fucking boring. The butler's generic. Anyway, he's kind of funny. And so anyway, so
Yeah.
like, so it follows this like this rich woman, this rich old lady, who's like rewriting her will or whatever, and she's like, I want to put my cats and then my butler in the will. She's got these like little cats, and they're all talking to each other because they can talk to each other because they're cats, right? But
Yeah,
like, they
yeah.
can't talk to humans. That's like the rule, and so they have their own little behaviors and actions. Like it's this mother cat who's got like three kittens, and the kittens are like fun and playful and cute. And the mom cat sounds like hella bad. The voice actress is like hella bad, and it's just weird that like she had to be so hot to play a cat. And then so like the butler's like mad. He overhears that like she's changing the will, so he's like, "Oh shit, let me like throw these cats out, all Moses style, out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and like fuck them off, so I can get the will." Because he was like next in line after the cats, whatever, passed, right? And like he was pissed off about it because he's, I don't know, whatever. So that's his motivation. And so like the cats get thrown out, and so like they're out in the middle of nowhere in Paris, or like near France. They're in France. They have to get back to Paris. It's like set in 1910, and so like there's this alley cat, O'Malley, who comes by. He's voiced by this like kind of like New York sounding guy, a little bit, or like maybe even New Jersey or something. And like so he comes in, he comes to help out the cats and teach them like the ways of being an alley cat, the way of the streets, man.
I'm sure it wasn't Tony Soprano.
No, and then they journey back to Paris, and so along the way they meet like two geese who are like sisters, and they have a drunk uncle they have to go pick up, which he's funny, and like I was like, damn, it's a 1970 Disney movie, and I was surprised they were joking about like alcohol use, and then they had like it's 1970, so I was surprised. Well, I guess I shouldn't be so surprised they had these caricatures, but they had like an Italian cat, they had a Russian cat, they had a Chinese cat, which like that was the weirdest one. Because he's playing the fucking piano with chopsticks, and I'm like, this is bad.
Yeah, doesn't he have like the stereotypical hat too, like the rice field hat?
Yeah, they put like a symbol on his hat, on his head, and that was meant to be the hat for like a little bit because they're all in a band, right? So there's the scat cat, who's played by this black guy who's like he plays the trumpet, he's playing this jazz music, and like that's a little racy, and then apparently the Chinese cat is worse. It's like some Mickey Rourke shit in Pretty Woman.
Oh God, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad. Holy shit. Looking back on that, how the fuck did they get away with that? Like, that's beyond me.
Well, dude, it was like, I mean, you just think about it, like 1970, right? Like, in 1965, they put a bunch of papers together. That doesn't change the fucking culture, man. People are still racist as shit. They're still gonna hate motherfuckers. And like,
Yeah.
and then like, I think, wasn't Pretty Woman like a 1970s or 80s movie?
I want to say early 80s, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then there was, so I watched, I think it was 16 Candles, dude, and like, the Chinese kid, it's so bad, it's laughable. Like, they play a gong sound no, it's not 16 Candles, it was something else, there's some other Molly Ringwald movie. No, it was 16 Candles, I think. Pretty in Pink was the other one. But no, 16 Candles had this, like, had the Asian kid, he came on screen, they just played a fucking gong every time. It's crazy. I was, like, watching that movie, and it's only, like, you only see the Chinese cat for, like, 10 minutes, but it's like, oh my god.
I mean, 10 minutes is all it takes.
Yeah, it was played by a white dude. Like, a white dude who apparently was a ventriloquist, so that's, like, the whitest you can get. So, like...
Yeah...
He was in the booth doing that shit for Disney. And it's so funny to me because like I think it's a good thing, right? Like I think it was like Tom and Jerry cartoons that started doing this. They had like they have a preface to the film. They're like, the preface was like, this was made at a time with different views. These depictions are not okay, but like, they're here and we want to show it in its entirety, and like that's the same thing that Tom and Jerry cartoons do now, because like the maid they had that was like a racist caricature of the classic black stereotype, and I respect that. I think that's a good way to handle it. I mean, it should never happen in the first place, but like you can't really change racist ass execs. Like, I mean, Walt Disney might have been an anti-Semite. So anyway, it's like,
I mean,
uh,
which powerful guy in that time wasn't an anti-Semite? Come on,
no, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's not
Ronald
okay.
Dahl, Dr. Seuss, Henry Ford.
It was cool. It was cool for everybody to do it,
Yeah,
and so like everybody did it, and so like
yeah,
it was. I'm sure Chinese audiences didn't really appreciate it. I don't know. There's a very complicated relationship with race in cinema. I know, like,
yeah,
I know with black film especially, like, so a lot of early black representation in film was just white actors in blackface, which like that's awful and not okay, and like, and anyone who like does blackface nowadays, like, how do you do it by mistake? Because how can you not tell that it's blackface? And then why do you do it purposefully if you do it purposefully?
yeah.
It's very awful. So anyway, so the transition for at least in black cinema again, like was like it started with like white people putting on blackface, and then eventually black actors and black filmmakers made movies. Um, and then like within black cinema, there was kind of a dead period until like the '70s black exploitation era, like where there
Yeah,
was like a lot more black movies and like by black actors and black directors and um, yeah, so and of course like the early films with white people playing black characters with like blackface, they weren't very good depictions of black people, and so
definitely not. Yeah,
that's just how it goes because humans just suck at first until we realize like, oh wait, maybe we shouldn't treat people like this. That's kind of a bad move on our part, so our bad guys.
yeah. Oh my god, man, just
But it is what it is, I guess.
it is what it is.
I don't know. It's challenging to navigate all these intricacies, and like I think it's really important to enjoy the art and to really just educate. Like I think like one of the things is like there was a big so we had a film class and it was some like intro to film history or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what the name of it particularly. I just remember we watched old movies in it, so I figured it's like an intro to film history. And so we watched. There's this old movie, and it's very complicated within film history.
Racy.
It's very well. It's very yeah. It's extremely so it's called Birth of a Nation, and it's like
Oh yeah, okay, I know where this is going.
so you've heard of this film. So
Yeah,
it's here's the problem is like it's a film where the director used a lot of revolutionary techniques that like are still used in film today. It was really influential in narrative telling and like progression and like it was just on a technical scale, it was a fantastic and important movie. It's also the movie. It's like the plot is like about an alternate history where like the Union won the Civil War, but then like black people take over and like they run amok, and of course the actors in the movie it's like a 1914 movie, so the actors are wearing blackface,
yeah.
and then like the KKK have to come in and save the day, and like
Oh god.
it is a film that is single handedly credited with like bringing about a resurgence of the KKK movement. It was a mostly dead organization between like 1870 to like 1915 when this movie was released. This movie is like it's used as propaganda by the KKK. Like it's an awful movie content wise. It makes black
Yeah.
people look awful. It makes them look like rapists and like murderers and they're doing all these typical stereotypes that are like really not really having a good connotation. But it is a very like influential movie, and it's a very key component of like movie history. So there's a great conflict, of course, among historians where they're like, "Damn," but then also like, "Damn." It's like it's and it's a really and so we got the discussion that came to class is like it really came down to like, should this movie be shown in film classes and like taught? And it's like, yeah, it should be. It's
Yeah.
like it should be, but you need to provide the context of like you need to provide that preface of like, hey, look, this is like none of the shit that's in this movie is okay content like
Yeah.
narrative wise, but like the techniques are really important. They're really valuable. They helped shape the art today we know as filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's like how in every psychology class, fucking Freud comes up. That sick fuck. who like he just was like high on cocaine and smoking cigars and talking about like how young men want to fuck their mothers, and so
Or how young men want to fight their fathers to fuck their mothers. Like it's.
mhm.
I mean, Dark Souls pretty much explored all of that. Actually, weirdly
And then
enough.
how women are like prone to mass hysteria and stuff, and like they've got all these awful diseases. He was just a huge sexist, and like then he had these weird ideas about the subconscious.
Yeah.
It's like, man, your brain's split into like three parts, and like one part of the brain always has to fight to keep it all together. It's like, calm down, dude. Stop doing the coke. So,
Chill on the coke.
yeah, stop doing cocaine. Stop it.
Get some help.
Get some help. And so,
No, but it's
So-
like the whole Birth of the Nation thing. It's like the same thing with I forget the name of the film, but it's like this film that was made in Nazi Germany, showing off the might of the German people, their military, their great nation, and whatnot. And the way it was filmed is like still taught in film school for being like the pioneer of like certain camera angles and like how you do that, and creating such a powerful film for all the wrong reasons.
that's exactly
Yeah.
it. Birth of a Nation is a film that was using wonderful technique to do all the wrong things. Like it was just
Exactly.
It's like the director DW something racist asshole. He's a
Yeah.
racist asshole. It was based off a book that was like some racist bullshit.
Yeah.
But still, don't make a movie about the KKK being the protagonist or being the heroes. Like they're not the heroes. They're awful human beings. And anyway, if you're gonna make a movie about the Klan, make a movie like Black Klansman. That was a great movie.
Oh, 100%. And if you want to fight racism, watch more BBC porn.
Watch more BBC porn. That's right. Watch some big black cocks destroy some white women, dude. That's what you gotta do.
Exactly, 100%. Some of those actors, man, they got some of the best looking dicks in town, I swear to God.
They do indeed. And on that note, we're gonna clock out here on the note of some big black dicks. As usual for the 9 to 5 boys, honestly, I'd imagine.
Fucking just
But
watch
thank you.
some BBC porn at first, then use that post-nut clarity to truly enjoy Black KK Klansman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And other great black film and cinema.
Oh, 100%. No, one of the best blaxploitation films of all time. Fucking Black Dynamite.
I knew you were gonna say Black Dynamite. Love Black Dynamite, dude.
So fucking meta, but so like great for all the right reasons. Like it's so good.
I need to rewatch that movie. That was fantastic.
Just
but
even the
thank-
little inside joke with like the fucking boom mic in the shot. I'm just like, man, they really go all out with this like fucking jokes on blaxploitation, but it's still like one of the best blaxploitation films of all time.
It works, man. It works well.
That and
So,
Jackie Brown. I love Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown?
It's a movie directed by Quentin Tarantino. Stars Samuel L. Jackson, Robert De Niro. It's got that Van guy from Breaking Bad. The one that runs the new identity business.
Oh, that guy, the old guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I forget. I feel so bad now because I forget the actress's name, but she was so fucking good in Jackie Brown.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm gonna look this up real quick before we end. Okay, lightning fast.
I believe in you.
Jackie. What's her name? Pam Grier. That's the one.
Pam Grier.
Yeah. Why the fuck would I? Holy shit! Michael Keaton was in this movie. Fuck! I need to see this movie again. God. And Chris Tucker. What the fuck? I need to see this movie again.
That sounds like a good movie.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film. Like Samuel L. Jackson and Robert De Niro, they have this like great bit in the opening of the movie. It's so fucking good. Yeah.
All right, well, that's been the 9 to 5 boys. We're going to end on this note. Some big black cocks, some great blaxploitation.
100%.
Go check all of it out, all that content. And until next time, this is the 9 to 5 boys clocking out.
Exactly. Watch BBC porn.